In this episode, I would like to concentrate on the only way I can describe these are very large arachnoid creatures that prefer to dwell on the warm rock surfaces. I haven't found them anywhere on the um, a powdery type surface. The only things I found on there were in the previous episode the very large white worms, which thankfully, to prove that they exist, they left very large crawl marks, which I managed to enlarge. So with these 70 millimeter Hasselblad pictures, this was a Swedish company that provided their camera for use on the Apollo expedition. The pictures are fantastic because they can be really enlarged to see very good resolution. So let's go through all. These are very large creatures. So I'll just try and enlarge them. They're all arachnoid looking. They're all very bumpy in their appearance, and they're like very large crustaceans actually. So there's an appearance there. It just seems to be sitting there on a rock absorbing the sunlight. And I'll actually taken out which picture this was in the Apollo series. This is Apollo 16. These pictures are good. They seem to be of a dry, rocky type landscape. And this is where we see that peculiar lizard creature right there. It's just sitting there. I don't know if it's a growth or it's a lizard. So I'll just pause it and go to the picture. That's one picture. We see a knobbly tubular thing, looks like a worm with its own shadow from that picture. And that was the picture I was referring to. There is something underneath, seems to be sitting there on the edge in the shadow. Also looks very crustaceous. There's a tail and what appears like legs and a big head. It seems to be just poised there. Now either that's a growth or it can move. So that's why it's hard to differentiate, but you'll see quite a few of these coming up now. So that's the good thing about this. So this is the next image. That's from this image here. We again see that creature there, what looks like arms of a crustaceous creature down there. So we'll go to the pictures now. Just one more close up using flash, and then you see a knobbly type of growth down there which looks like two arms. So now you're starting to see what these peculiar things look like. There's one other angle. On that round surface on the edge you'll see these a knobbly type of growths right there. So you'll see 1, 2, 3. It's like a crustaceous, crabby type of growth. Now I'll go back to this one and enlarge it. You see how the tail or one part of it is very knobbly as well, and it's got its own shadow. So I believe these things do move. There's no trail marks because it's a very rocky surface, and there's one I think just underneath there. Let's take it up. It's hiding a shadow. So they could be hunting these things above here, or worms. It's a peculiar world, and obviously it's a new world. Here we see a longer type of worms object here, a round ball, which could be an egg. Here we go as well. There's the object there. There's one little one down there. I'll enlarge it. Maybe you can work out the shape easier this way. Next one. Bit blurred, I don't like that one. You see this one object there. Here is a very knobbly object, and what looks like could be an egg. And there's one circular object there, and this could be the arms of something in the shadow. Next image. Well, that's obviously the image there. First thing comes to mind is this one here. It's very long, it's tubular. There's one there and one standing up there. So we'll just go into this picture and see what I found. We'll pause it and go back. So this zooms in. There's not much there except a few knobbly things starting to stick up. And then there's that long thing we saw right there, and that looks like one of these processes growing and one sticking up. Now we go to the next picture, which is this one here. So this is the Apollo 16 picture, and we'll see what we found in this landscape here. So from far away it doesn't look much. There's not much life, but let's go see what we found. Straight away we see these knobbly things in the craters and what looks like a knobbly worm there on the side. You see it there. I'll just enlarge it a fraction. So things are happening. Either they're growths or they're moving live things. That's it there. Here we go. So I think these are more like growths. When they become to actually move on their own, that's a separate issue. So there they are, sticking out of the side. Now we go to the next image. This is the image there. And obviously there's quite a few things happening there, but from far away you can't see much. So let's zoom in and see what we found. This is the first sign of these type of crawly arachnoid creatures, which I think in this case move and just sit on the rock and sunbake. You'll see a large head-like structure, curves. See if I can enlarge it. I don't think I can much. So that's your first indication that things are not just a normal landscape. Pretty hard to tell on that. There's a ball there and some zigzag structures that look like they're coming out with shadows. Here we have that a ball effect where there's like beads or balls that produce shapes. Are they eggs? Are they larvae of what hatches? I don't know. There's a curvy one there. There's one there. If I enlarge this more, you'll lose the sort of shape of it. Let's go back. You can see that one. Yes. We saw that one before, yes. Here there's a lot more happening down there. Are they just vegetation growths or things that are actually moving around? Difficult to say. Next one. It's jammed. Very hard to tell on that one. It's very obscure. And next image. Let's go back.